Come spring, this is gonna be compost. Welcome to Red Roof Family Farm, where we grow flowers and veggies. Today, we're gonna be planting 5,000 tulip bulbs. But because we are flower farmers, we do things a little bit differently. One of the great things about tulips as a home gardener is you plant them once and they come back year after year, giving you many, many springs of beautiful, happy blooms. But as a flower farmer, things are a little bit different. What we need to do to be able to sell those flowers rather than enjoy them in our garden is we need to get the longest possible stem we can get. And that means we need to cut off all of the leaves for the blooms. And because we're cutting off all the leaves, those bulbs that are left in the ground actually will not be able to produce flowers again. They quite often will even completely die. So because of that, flower farmers don't grow their tulips as perennials, they grow them as an annual. They put them into the ground now in the fall with plans that they are going to completely dig them up and get rid of them come spring. This always seems like such a massive expense to have to do to home gardeners, but the truth is flower farmers wouldn't grow the tulips this way if they couldn't make money doing it. And by growing them in this really intensive way that we do, it actually saves us a lot of money because time is money on the farm, and we have ways to make the planting go a million times faster than if you tried to plant 5,000 bulbs in your home garden. For example, we are going to be planting into a ditch or a trench. Instead of just making a small hole placed throughout the landscape, all of our 5,000 bulbs are gonna be going into this tiny amount of space here. They get planted very, very tightly. When you plant tulips in your home garden, you want to space them out so that they have lots of space to be able to multiply, turn into lots of tulips. But because we are going to be ripping these all completely out come spring, when we plant tulip bulbs on a flower farm, they get spaced super, super tight. The spacing that is recommended is like an egg carton. And so you can see these are very close together. Because all of our bulbs are going to be planted into this one single trench, we have to protect them from any sort of pests or rodents that can get into them over the winter. Here on our farm, we really struggle with voles, which in general don't attack too many of our flowers. But they will come in the winter and they will eat every single one of my tulip bulbs and make it so I get 0 flowers instead of 5,000 if I don't do something to stop them. So this year we are filling this trench with some metal wire to be able to create a barrier that will keep the voles out of our bulbs, fingers crossed. You also, depending on the pests that you have in your area, need to consider pests that will dig down and lift them up. I know lots of people tell me squirrels, huge issue, dig them up and eat them. We don't struggle with that here, but if you do have that issue, you want to put something on the top.
Today is a time for tulips, a day for digging, a moment to plant a bulb for future seasons. And on that note,
full stop. Can't believe I live in your thoughts. I think about you all the time, morning, evening, and midnight. Such a wonderful delight. Forgo, give up everything that I own. Give it all up now, just to be with you somehow. Unexpected love was found. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say each other tight. You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say that I love you.
Once we have our trench completely filled in with our bulbs, the next step is we need to just put dirt back on top of the bulbs. So when we dug that trench, we mounded up all the dirt that came out. Now at this point, we need to put that dirt back on top. We also will be coming back later on in a few weeks to put some compost on top too. We want to make sure that there's still some dirt on top to protect these bulbs from the cold weather that happens over the winter and from them warming up too quickly in the spring. One of the advantages of just piling the dirt back on top is it's going to be nice and light and fluffy. So when we come to deal with these bulbs in the spring, we're not actually going to be just cutting them off at the surface level. We're actually going to be pulling the entire tulip with bulb attached out. And this now comes to another reason why these bulbs aren't necessarily going to be usable again, which is lots of flower farmers actually take the bulb attached tulip with the flower and they put that into their coolers, and by doing that they can store the tulips for up to a month. So when the bulb is attached and it's stored away, they can harvest them right before they're ready to bloom, put them in their fridges, and have this huge amount of time before they get into your home for you to enjoy without it at all affecting how long the flower lasts. And you can't do that without still having the bulb attached. And now we wait and wait and wait and cross our fingers and hope that nothing happens to our beautiful, precious, expensive bulbs until next year.
How much did that bed of tulips cost?
Cost a couple $1,000s. So if you want to see those blooms, make sure that you stick around until next year, because they are going to be absolutely beautiful when we have 5,000 of these tulip blooms to turn into the most decadent bouquets we've ever made.